Pros bring something extra to every job. Now at the Home Depot, they also get something extra. Pro Extra, our free loyalty program built for pros just like you. Members earn perks with every dollar spent, like Pro Extra Dollars, a tool rental credit, and more. New members get $20 off their next in-store purchase of $200 or more just for signing up. Learn more at homedepot.com/Pro Extra. New year, more rewards, Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Here is your sports betting podcast brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com for Monday, February 23rd. It includes a free NBA pick. We have a 4-0 sweep at Joe Duffy's picks for Monday night, led by a wise guy play as Steam was at it at 12:19 Eastern. We've got a fantastic angle plus another which exploits an overlooked scheduling dynamic. We have another one. If you were a score phone client of ours back in the 1980s, you won with it then. You're still winning with it decades later. That's how good it is. All that and more from the center of the handicapping universe. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com. That's why I've been featured on Bleacher Report, Sports Betting Review, CTV and the CBC, Examiner, Sporting News Radio, and so many more national media, multimedia sources. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com. Philadelphia and Miami, 76ers are 15-7 without Tony Roten. Remember, all records are against the spread unless we specify otherwise. They've gone under at a 14-9 rate minus him. Sixers are really developing into a dichotomous spread and straight-up team. If you've never gotten Joe Duffy's picks before, shame on you, but this means if a team is consistently winning outright but failing to cover or losing outright and covering, we ride the spread streak. It has proven to be a way to isolate over- and undervalued teams. Now, as an example, or the specifics as applies in this game, 76ers are 12-43 straight up, but yet they've covered 8 out of their last 10. Miami without Chris Bosh, they are actually 5-4 against the spread in games that he's missed, going over at a 5-4 rate. But tough for Miami to blow out Philadelphia without a guy who's averaging 21.1 points per game, 7 rebounds. Sixers do have the worst offensive efficiency in their last 15 games, admittedly, getting 92.7 points per 100 possessions. But you have to realize, a lot of people would think that a team like Philly would be playing out the string. What are you kidding me? They have a bunch of young guys who have the best chance that they're going to get to make statements for their careers. So these guys have plenty to play for, plenty of motivation. You're not talking about a bunch of seasoned veterans with Philadelphia as they continue to dump whatever talent they have. Look, this is a chance for a bunch of guys to really prove their worth, and these can be career breakers the remainder of the season for a lot of the guys on the Sixers roster. So effort and motivation, not an issue. And our free pick is to go with Philadelphia. Free pick is Philadelphia. Toronto and New Orleans. New Orleans still without Anthony Davis. Well, they're actually without him again, I should say. 2-3 without him, going under 3-2. He averages 23.9 points per game, 10.3 rebounds. He is one of the top players in the NBA without question. They're also without Ryan Anderson, who averages 14.6 points, 5.1 rebounds. Remember, Drew Holiday is long gone. New Orleans has the third worst net rating in the NBA their last 5 games. Milwaukee and Chicago. Bucks newly acquired Michael Carter-Williams is doubtful. He has not played, but since Milwaukee did make trade and get rid of some personnel, they're 0-2, and both have gone under. They do need MCW in the lineup. Pretty solid player, 15 points per game in 41 games, 6.2 rebounds per game, and 7.4 assists for the poor shooting point guard. Brooklyn and Denver. Brooklyn, the worst defensive efficiency the last 15 games, allowing 109.3 points per 100 possessions. But Denver's got the second worst net rating in that span at -10. By comparison, Brooklyn's is pretty bad, but not quite as bad at -7.4. Minnesota and Houston. Oh, and guys, if you had not heard our podcast that we released last night, it's both timely, but it's also evergreen about some of the metrics that we use to win in college basketball and some of the current metrics using them, who are the best teams to bet for or against. Make sure you hear that podcast. Wherever you're hearing this podcast, it is available there. And please help us out by giving us a positive rating, especially if you're listening to us on iTunes. Give us a 5-star there. The experts tell us that will help us show up in searches Get us more exposure. The more exposure we get, the more free information we'll be proud to give you. Minnesota and Houston, as we said, Houston, Dwight Howard, 5-5 without him. They're minus him. They've gone under 6-4 without him. 16.3 points per game, 11 rebounds. Boston and Phoenix, Boston minus Jared Sullinger. They're 0-2 without him, going over both games. Very solid player, 14.4 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, pretty decent, 2.4 assists. Minnesota and the Clippers, of course, Clippers without Blake Griffin. They've gone 1-1 without him, going over both games. LA still has the third best overall net rating and third best in their last 5 games. Second best overall efficiency in their last 5 games, scoring 113.3 points per 100 possessions. Memphis, the second best defensive efficiency in the last 15 games, allowing just 95.5 points per 100 possessions. Best premium plays, oh my goodness, Stevie Vincent. You got to see what Stevie Vincent's got. It's a historical card, one of the biggest NBA portfolios in betting history. Stevie Vincent, www.offshoreinsiders.com.
Pros bring something extra to every job. Now at the Home Depot, they also get something extra. Pro Extra, our free loyalty program built for pros just like you. Members earn perks with every dollar spent, like Pro Extra Dollars, a tool rental credit, and more. New members get $20 off their next in-store purchase of $200 or more just for signing up. Learn more at homedepot.com/Pro Extra. New year, more rewards, Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.